2014 IPC Athletics European Championships Organising Committee would like to welcome you all to Swansea University International Sports Village for this morning's session of athletics on day 4 of Swansea 2014. We really do have an action-packed programme this morning, so let's have a look, shall we, at what's coming up this Friday morning. So, we kick off at 9 o'clock with the final of the men's shot put, F33. There's the final of the men's 100 metres T42 with European record holder F46 Switzerland in action, while Will Mario van Rijn win another gold here in Swansea as she's competing in the women's 400 metres T44 final this morning, and plenty of British interest in the women's club throw F32 51. Aside from the competition, we have 14 medal ceremonies taking place. It really is an action-packed programme this Friday morning, so a very warm welcome to day 4 of the 2014 IPC Athletics European Championships here in Swansea.
Still sunlit morning here. Temperature already over 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and it should stay there all day. So if you do have some spare time, it would be great to see you here. There are still some tickets available, and we are going to see some wonderful competitors right from the very start. 9:46, the T44 final in the women's 400 metres. Marlu van Rijn going for her 3rd gold medal of the Games. That should get us off to a terrific start. And we've seen some very intense competition in the field throughout the competition so far, and that will continue today. Josie Pearson of Great Britain looking to continue her domination of the club throw, the Paralympic and World Championship. So 3rd attempt for Shile, 41-year-old. And 4 of the 5 competitors in this have already picked up a medal during these championships so far.
It's a very competitive field in this, and they regularly compete against each other. It's an event which, as I say, has got major Northern African dominance at a worldwide level, in the same way that Brazil dominate the sprints in the T11s and 12s.
Gone over 10 metres there for the first time today. 10:25 is his personal best set this season. And he looks to be some way over that there. Time to take on some refreshment as well in the sunshine. He's He's been made to wait a long time here, but this should be a new personal best. And his intention will just be to set a marker for the others to try and match. We've often had quite long delays early on in the day's competition, just to sort out the measuring mechanisms. Kieran Shanowski, who won a silver in the F34 discus, will be going for Great Britain. And it's 10:26, and that's a personal best for Daniel Scheil halfway through.
He's beaten his lifetime best by 1 centimetre, but it's given him a very good position here. In terms of the rankings going into this, he's looking likely for bronze, but anything's possible on the day. Season's best of Chinovsky is behind Scheil, but his lifetime best is beyond Malik and Krupin. The two Russians look as if they'll be in a class of their own, but depends how that's going to pan out in this competition. So Scheil ready for his final 3 throws in this round 4.
And maybe it's a case he's finding his rhythm here, and he certainly seems to be. He is over 10 meters again. Around the same area of his previous throw of 10:26. $10:35 for the second successive round. He breaks his lifetime best. And we may yet have a third appearance on top of the podium here from Daniel Scheil if he maintains this improvement.
It's a fabulous morning for the German athlete so far.
Fabulous morning all round compared to what we experienced last night.
There's been quite a bit of rain overnight because there's still a few damp patches in the infield, but they'll dry up the longer the sun comes out. It's a lovely morning here. Must be around 18, 19 Celsius, which is nice for here.
Says a man coming from Ireland.
Oh, we're used to it. Now that is around the same mark. He is well into his rhythm. He's having a fabulous morning. He's already pulled off the 2 best throws of his life, and that might be another one.
And this is really impressive here from Daniel Scheil. Krupin of Russia has thrown over 12 meters this season. He should be the man to beat.
I must go forward.
It's been given as a foul, and that looked as if it might be even longer.
Must have lifted. You have to maintain contact with the chair at all times, and a number of athletes so far in the throwing events in these categories have questioned the rulings. There are a number of people watching to see if that sort of contact is maintained. So here is his final attempt to set a marker for the rest of the field to follow.
Well, that's another one beyond 10 meters. Might be just shy of what he's thrown already this morning, although it's not going to be very far away if it is. But he's had 2 excellent throws. He's improved his lifetime best twice, improved it by 10 centimeters up towards 10:35. That might just be beyond his lifetime best going into this competition. If he does improve, it'll only be by a couple of centimeters, but Scheil has had a very fruitful morning. It'll put him on the podium and keep him in the podium for quite a bit of the competition, but will he stay there until morning's end? Well, very tentative for him. And he's had a golden week so far, winning both the discus and the javelin. There's a versatility in the IPC scene that you don't see elsewhere. Well, my word, that is fabulous. 10:42, it's his third lifetime best of the morning, and that really does set the standard wonderfully. He's improved his personal best 3 times by 17 centimetres, and Daniel Shile is our early leader, and that is quite a healthy target he's set.
And that is what you want to see from all of the competitors here. Raising the bar, extending themselves. And we have a great start to the morning there from Daniel Shile.
Well, that's very encouraging for him. And obviously his competition is now over, apart from having to sit and watch everybody else have their go and try and knock him off his perch.
Alexander Krupin of Russia will go next. Silver for him in the javelin. But he comes into this with the best throw of the season so far in this category of 12 meters, 10 centimeters.
Well, those lifetime bests and those season's bests are a very good form guide as to where the medals should go. And Shile now can only hope for an off day for Krupin and Malik. Malik, a marvellous competitor who's medalled in so many different events in the field and on the track down through the years.
So Krupin will make his way to the circle now. And don't forget, you can follow the results of this event and all the events live from here in Swansea at swansea2014.com. Or you can get to that via paralympics.org. And we're on Twitter at IPC Athletics if you have any comments to make about the championships, and use the hashtag Swansea2014. Marlu van Rijn will be on the track in around 40 minutes time in the women's 400 meters T44. We've also got a 100 meters final for the men in the T52 coming up, and that's scheduled for 9:38. So we have plenty of field action, both the men's shot put here and the women's javelin in the F34 category, which will be starting in about 15 minutes or so. And that includes Birgit Kober of Germany, the reigning world champion, with a personal best of 27:45, but she's not gone beyond 19 meters this season. But she will be an extremely warm favourite to pick up another major honour. As will this man, Alexander Krupin.
Well, he's having the season of his life. His lifetime best set this year of 12 meters 10. And even if he comes within 1.5 meters of that, he'll be in the gold medal position. So the fate of Daniel Shile is out of his own hands, but he's done as much as he can. It's a lifetime best, and it's by a good margin, almost 1/4 meter.
And it's the only event currently taking place on the field or the track. But we will have a number of athletics finals on the track taking place this morning, as well as the medal ceremonies recognizing some of the achievements which took place late yesterday. But before then, the 20-year-old from Russia, Alexander Krupin, will have a couple of practice throws first of all, just to try and rediscover some rhythm.
Okay, thank you. All right. 1 minute for practice. All right. Okay.
And if you are wondering and come from outside the United Kingdom, all of the officials here have the word official written on the backs of their sweatshirts in both English and Welsh. We're very much bilingual in this part of the United Kingdom. There's a couple of warm-ups. I think he's fired up for it.
Well, Krupin certainly in the mood to do some damage. He's won a silver medal here so far. That was in the javelin behind Shile. Chanovsky won silver in the discus. He comes next. Malik, bronze in the discus. He's after him. So Krupin, let's see what personal standard he can set for himself with this opening round throw. And that looks to be the lead already. And Shile was sitting pretty for a while, but not anymore.
And that's close to 11 meters, if not beyond it. 10:42, the initial target to overhaul, and he's done it straight away. 11:10, Alexander Krupin moves into the lead, and it will take something special from all of the remaining athletes involved to remove him already.
So we have a new man in the gold medal position. And he's looking to increase his position, and that might just do it. That's well beyond 10. He certainly is capable of further of launching it beyond 12, which he's already done this year. Well, Shile would have been hoping for an off day for this man, but it has not happened. Russia back in pole position again, and that looks beyond 11 meters and probably increases his lead.
Safe to say, he is in the zone.
Keyed up for this final, a very early start. But he is wide awake, and don't the rest know it.
Circle,
11 meters 15. We heard it verbally. Increases his lead by 5 centimeters.
And the longer he goes on, the more he seems to get fired up here.
It's another good try. It's around the same mark.
12:10 is his personal best and his season's best. And they're just checking he got the white flag there. No lack of officials around the shot put circle.
10.87 we heard, and up it comes. But each of those throws would have been good enough for the gold medal position so far. He knows there'll be a little bit of pressure coming in from his compatriot Malik, and perhaps from Chinavsky, depending on the Britain's form later on in this shot put final.
You wouldn't bet against him going beyond 12 meters by the end of this.
That is close. That is closer. Certainly an improvement on his third round attempt, without any doubt.
Сколько еще? 2? Все, собрался. Собрался!
11-11, so not quite surpassing his best throw so far. But this is some early morning entertainment for the crowd here in Swansea, and not just when Krupin's throwing. It's a real performance.
He's got 2 throws to go, and 3 of his 4 so far being beyond 11 meters. He can throw 12, he's done that this year. And again, he's put a huge amount into that, and that's knocking around the same region.
Да, еще дай! Последний остался.
And that's over 11 meters again, we can hear.
There you have it. He's tied his best of the day, 11 meters 15. Well, you can't complain that he doesn't deserve to be where he is, because each of his 5 throws would have put him into the gold medal position, and there hasn't been a single foul yet. And that is impressive. The technique and the power and the distance have been all excellent. Same again. I think he'd have been happier with a bit further overall, but so far he can't complain about his efforts. That is wrapping up 10 meters 90. It's a wonderful set of marks. Krupin is in the gold medal position. And that's one for the next 3 men, the last 3 men in this competition to aim for.
And we will see the home favourite, Kieran Chinavsky, next into the circle. And there he is.
Yeah, 3, 2.
Well, he's already medalled at Swansea 2014.
On,
that
baby.
excellent silver medal in the discus.
Come on, Kevin. Come on, Kevin.
Go and see if you choose.
Personal best of 10.72 came last year. But he's not gone beyond 8.5 meters so far this year. And the way this competition is shaping up,
Is that where you want it?
Yeah.
you think
Happy with that?
Yeah.
10 meters at least will be required to give him a chance of
Can somebody sit on it?
making it into the medals.
Shotgun.
There are further finals this morning that are on the way. The women's javelin and the F34. The men's shot put continues in the F12 category. That's the medium visual impairment category. Men's long jump T36. Women's long jump T42. Will be the first of the medal ceremonies, which will be before 10. Have a few of those to get away this morning. Also, we'll be with you until around at 12:15 UK time, 11:15 GMT, 13:15 Central European time.
And there will be an early treat for those here inside the sports village already in around 20 minutes time, when Marlou van Rijn goes for her third gold medal on the track. That in the women's 400 meters T44 category. And she had to work really hard to take 200 meters yesterday, pushed all the way. And that will be some early fireworks for us on the track. But the home supporters here will be hoping that Kieran Janowski
Just to help.
can do something similar here in the field.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Yep. Sorry, Kieran, I need to do the same again. It's just moved a little bit. Okay. And I'll tuck your shirt in as well. Okay. That's it. Perfect. No, they were there. Okay, perfect, mate. Yeah, no problem. Okay, done.
Tie that leg in there.
So Kieran Janowski of Britain, the 22-year-old. Well, he's one of the fine supported athletes here in Swansea this week. Just being locked into position. He'll get a couple of practice throws away, and then the 6-in competition.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Currently unattached in terms of his club, and the British throws coach Jim Edwards, very busy this week, also looks after Jonathan Adams and Sam Ruddock. Trying to get a good distance in his early attempts. Gets a couple of these practice throws away.
So he will warm up before he has 6 throws for real here.
So let's see what standard he can set for himself early on in this competition. It was the 2nd and 5th throws that were the best for Krupen. For Scheil, it was actually his last. He improved as it went on. So this should be the first proper throw in competition for Kieran Janowski. And just getting the bindings reset. Has to work very hard to be competitive today, but in terms of lifetime best, he has excelled previously, capable of hitting the medals today in this men's shot put F33, which is among the cerebral palsy categories. Now that is shy of 10 meters. That's around 8 or 9, which has been around his form this year. getting various advice. Now that, again, shy of 10 meters, possibly around 8, just beyond that. But he knows immediately that further will be needed in order to get among the medals today. I think there's not much doubt about that. 8:48 his season's best. Lifetime best is 10:72. And that is 8:38, puts him into third place. There's 2 more to go and 5 more throws also.
At the other end of the stadium, we have the women's javelin just starting in the F34 category. And this is Marie Bremer Scheronk of Germany. Bronze medalist in the World Championships in Lyon last year. This is her 5th attempt. 15:76, a season's best so far. And that is around the 15-meter line again.
She's 23 years old, and she's been very successful in this in recent years since she came onto the IPC circuit. A bronze in the World Championships in Lyon last year, a silver at London 2012.
14:47.
Birgit Kober is the favourite for this, but it's good to see her getting some good throws in early here.
Kober, the world champion. So this, her final attempt. And Kober, 27:45 is her lifetime best. She's thrown about 18.5 meters this season, to give you an idea of what the rest need to try and beat. And that lands flat. Does she get the white flag? She does, but again, it's inside 15 meters. And the conditions here are entirely different to what the field athletes at that end of the stadium were experiencing last night, when the wind was whipping around. And that's a foul in the end. So 15:76 is the mark she has set, with Maria Heikkinen of Finland next to go, silver medalist in the World Championships last year.
So we go back to the shot put, and Chinovsky of Britain, who's looking to get something beyond 10 meters if he can. 8:38, 8:47, 8:17 his throws so far. He's just around 2 meters behind Daniel Scheil of Germany, who's lying in second place. Well, you can see a red flag has come up for that 4th attempt. Only 2 more to go. Having to deal with a field that's very strong, and that again around 8 meters. .847 is best so far, and still Evgeny Malak of Russia to come, of which a lot will be expected. He will be tilting for gold against his compatriot. 8:17 Viceniowski. Peak coming in round 2 so far. Still a bit of strength in reserve, he will hope. Here it is, his last throw, and that looks to be around the same mark. So there's 2 men to go, and Tiniowski will be hanging on to bronze.
And it may be a very tenuous grip. Yeah.
Yeah. That was 7.91, so Czerniowski peaks at 8.47, and he lies third with 2 men to go, and his competition is over. He has to sit and wait and see how the rest do now.
So Alexander Krupin, 11.15, setting the standard for Russia. Daniel Scheil, 10.42. And Czerniowski of Great Britain, 8.47. And he will be fortunate to remain in the bronze medal position.
Well, also starting shortly will be the men's long jump T36 category. And this is among the cerebral palsy categories. 40 and 41 for those of short stature, and the rest of the 40s among the amputees. Then into the 50s, we're talking about the wheelchair athletes. I know a lot of you watching will already know these and won't need explaining, but parasport still growing. New fans all the time who are wondering what T12 or T42 or N17 are. Well, the track action will begin very shortly indeed. And we've got a series of finals today. 11 morning finals we have in both the track and the field. We've got the women's 400 T44 coming up in the next 10 minutes, and that means another great battle between Malu van Rijn and Marie-Amélie Lefeur. Good to see her in action this week. And can Imgard Ben-Suzanne of Germany finally break out of her silver streak?
And the trees are a lot stiller here this morning than they were yesterday afternoon.
Much improved weather in Swansea this morning, and a few hundred already in. So a straight sprint to get us underway. The men's 100 metres T52 final, a wheelchair race, an event dominated by the great Raymond Martin at the last 2 global championships, where he won 9 golds in total, 5 in Lyon, 4 in London. And all 5 in this field have medalled. Mario Trindade of Portugal took bronze in the 200 metres in the Iowa World Games last year. Can he get something big in the IPC circuit here? Piet Bosch of Switzerland, silver in the 400 metres. Beating down into 3rd place, the bronze for Artem Shishkovsky. He was 3rd in the 1500, where it was a 3-man race. 2 golds so far this week for Thomas Garspickler of Austria in the 400 and the 1500. Twice a Paralympic Games champion. And Rob Smith of Britain won silver in that 1500 metres final. And a lot hoped for him today. Rob Smith of Coventry will have the home support. So Garspickler aiming for a hat-trick of gold medals this week. Trindade in 3, Bosch in 4, Shishkovsky 5, Garspickler 6, and Smith in 7. They are away first time. And once they get going, they stay going. Garspickler in 6. Tchaikovsky going well for Russia. Pete Bosch is leading for Switzerland here. And Bosch has really got into his flying gear straight away. Pete Bosch for Switzerland's going to win it. Tchaikovsky is second. And Mario Trindade takes the bronze for Portugal. Excellent victory for Pete Bosch of Switzerland, who gets a major European title to his name to absolutely delight him. It had been silver earlier in the week, but Pete Bosch picks up the European title. Well, at Paralympic Games, he's got 3 silvers and a bronze previously. That was an excellent result, though, for Pete Bosch. A superb finish. And he takes the European title. There wasn't a T52 in the last European Championships. I make that the first European title he's won. Certainly in the modern era, and he absolutely flew away. And Garspickler very strong on the longer distances. For the T52s, it takes a little while to get going, maybe the first 30 meters or so. But once Bosch had shot away, he stayed away. Brilliant result, and it's another gold medal for Switzerland. Very good couple of weeks in the athletic circuit for them. Manuel Achar and Marcel Hug doing so well here, and now Pete Bosch is a gold medalist too for Switzerland. 18.62 the winning time. Tchaikovsky the silver, and Mario Trindade gets the bronze.
Let's go back to the men's shot put, the F53 or F33 final. And here is Yevgeny Malik of Russia. And he is out towards and beyond 11 meters there. Bronze in the discus competition in the F34 category. It was wide, but it was pretty long. 9:35 in the end. And that will move him up above Janowski of Great Britain into the bronze medal position with his first throw. And he is capable of throwing over 12 meters. His season's best, 12:03. And should he replicate that, he will take the gold medal surely.
I think he would undeniably feel that he can throw more, he can throw further, but it depends on recent form, it depends what's in on him. That was a better throw. That was a much better throw. That is the 12-meter line, I think we could see, and not the 10. If that's the case, there you go, he's in the lead, 11.65. Brilliant throwing by Malik. And that surely is the gold medal for him now. He's gone beyond the fired-up Krupin, who drops to silver, Charles the bronze. And can he keep it going from here?
Can he go beyond 12 meters? Well, he is very, very close. Not too far away, but that could improve on 11.65.
Хватит.
11.88, he does improve. And at the moment, he looks very, very good for the gold medal. With one final athlete to come.
And Kitranis really isn't of the same standard in terms of history. Looks like gold already for Malik secured.
We've got a men's long jump final starting shortly in the pit, but first of all, we are watching the man on the way to gold here in the F33 men's shot put, and it's remarkably consistent now. He is peppering that 12-meter line just inside it. 3 throws of well over 11.5 meters. And we will get confirmation of another one there. 11.69. And he has now produced 3 attempts which would win him the gold medal. But we now head back to the track for one of the highlights of the morning. Marlou van Rijn going for her 3rd gold medal of the championships in the women's 400 meters T44. Marlou van Rijn has been unstoppable so far. This in the T44 category. She holds the world record in the T43. Marie-Amélie Lefebvre, who picked up a gold and silver in London in the 100 and 200 meters. 2 silvers in the World Championships. Will look to push her close. Ingard van Susen of Germany. Silvers behind Van Rijn so far in the 100 and 200 meters. And Marleen van Ganswinkel of the Netherlands. But all the attention will be on the other orange vest in lane 6. And Van Rijn again is on the outside. And so far in the competition, she's been able to run a race in a class of her own, although she was pushed in the closing stages of the 200 meters yesterday. But she, without any doubt, is who the crowd have come to see this morning. The final of the women's 400 meters in the T44 classification. Marlou van Rijn going for gold medal number 3. And they do get away first time. It's Van Rijn in lane 6 and Marie-Amélie Lefebvre of France in lane 5, who has gone off very quickly, and she has made the better start. And already Marlou van Rijn is under some pressure here, and Irmgard van Susen of Germany is also in there. It's going to be these 3 to decide the medals, and Marlou van Rijn has got some real work to do here if she's going to make it gold medal number 3 at Swansea 2014. In 3rd place at the moment, Irmgard van Susen of Germany leads as they come around the bend, with Lefebvre of France in 2nd. Van Rijn is down in 3rd. We saw a tremendous sprint finish from her in the 200 meters, and she needs something similar here because she is way back as she comes into the final bend. And at the moment, van Susen, who has picked up 2 silver medals behind Van Rijn, is pushing hard, but she's tying up, and it's going to be Marie-Amélie Lefebvre of France, who has beaten Van Rijn in the World Championships last year, but she takes gold this time. And van Susen was maybe caught by Van Rijn on the line, but Marie-Amélie Lefebvre, who saw the back of Marlou van Rijn's vest during the World Championships last year, comes up with gold this time. 1:01.41, the winning time. And this time, Marlu van Rijn had no answer, and the world record has gone. In the T44 category, it was 1.242, set by Lefevre back in 2007. And she has smashed it there to beat Marlu van Rijn, a gold medal and a world record for France. And van Rijn's hopes of a clean sweep have gone. Down in third place in the end. Bensusan just held on for silver. And it was a tremendous finish. For so long, Bensusan looked to be set for the gold medal, but she tied up in the closing stages. And Lefevre comes through to win with a world record. And Bensusan just held on in the end.
But not only that, the first three were inside the world record, which is fantastic running. 1:02.42 from 2007, and Van Rijn in finishing third was half a second inside that. Lefevre's taken a full minute off her own world record.
A full second. Well, delight there for the French. And Marlu van Rijn is finally beaten by Marie-Amélie Lefevre of France. 1:01.41, the world record has gone. Bensusan a personal best, 1:01.85 to take the silver. And this time, Marlu van Rijn has to be content with the bronze. And she was just outside her record in the T43 category. But in the T44s, it's a world record for Amélie Lefevre. And it's a triumph for France.
Well, a great victory, superb race. We haven't seen, mainly due to the conditions, many world records this week, but that was absolutely storming. It was brilliant to see. And, well, congratulations, I think, really, to all three for giving us such a sensational contest here. And, well, Germany have been sweeping up a major amount of medals here this week. And we're about to see another being presented here in Swansea. The first medal ceremony of day 4 of these championships, and it's the women's T42 long jump. And even though there were only 3 in this final, it was brilliant. It was real nip and tuck between 2 smashing athletes, and world champion Martina Caroni defeated at European level here, the Italian picking up his silver. Defeated by another marvellous athlete, as it turned out. What is it about German long jumping right now? Vanessa Lowe takes the gold in this women's T42 long jump. We've seen certainly European records falling quite regularly, and the lead switched so many times during this fine joust. That's the thing about a long jump competition with 3 people in it. It goes very quickly, but it's thrilling all the way.
So gold there for Germany, and very soon on the podium we will have more home success recognised when Samantha Kinghorn receives her 3rd gold medal of the Games. in the women's 800 metres T53 category.
Representatives from the teams watching the action. And I'm joined by Helen, the team official from the Netherlands. Welcome to Swansea.
But there's plenty going on in the field. And it's the men's F33 shot put. And here is Yevgeny Malik. His final throw, currently in the lead. And that is probably not going to pressurise his throw of 11.88, which we saw earlier on. He currently has a lead of 73 centimetres ahead of Alexander Krupin of Russia. And it's going to be a Russian 1-2 surely.
Now let's jump to another new competition, and this is the long jump for men and the first attempt of Mikhail Bondarenko. This is at the T36 category. Bondarenko is among the main candidates in this final to try and get himself up into the medals. It's very busy in the field this morning. Bondarenko, the 22-year-old Roman Pavlik, the great Roman Pavlik, is the world and European record holder here in taking the honours in Lyon last year.
And here now is Marcin Milczarek of Poland, bronze medalist at the European Championships 2 years ago. Looking to get himself on the board early on. And that was around 5 metres. Use the full extent of the board. So 490 puts him on top of the leaderboard early on. And we will hear God Save the Queen for the first time this morning. Samantha Kinghorn has had a personal battle with Hamid Kurt of Turkey in the T53 classification, and she has come out on top on the track on every single occasion. So gold again for this 18-year-old, who will be gaining so much experience from winning medals, which will give her a real fillip going into the World Championships and the Paralympics over the next couple of years. She is the track queen, T53 category. So for the third time, Samantha Kinghorn shows off her gold medal here at Swansea 2014. As we go back to the long jump.
To the world champion Roman Pavlik. 7 major championship gold medals, 17 medals in total. The favourite for this, for Ukraine. And he's looking to launch himself out and get himself right up into the medals already. Round 487, the target right now, and that looked to be around 5 metres for this fantastic champion. Long jump world champion and Paralympic Games champion. 5 metres 07, and that gives him the advantage.
And here is one of his main challengers, Paweł Piotrowski of Poland, but not on this occasion.
Well, Petrovsky himself, 5 major championship gold medals, mainly in the shot put. He's won 3 titles there and 1 at the discus and javelin. World title in each of those, and European shot put champion 2 years ago, Paralympic Games shot put champion.
That's a very interesting combination, isn't it? You don't get too many shot putters.
It's what you call versatility. Petropoulos of Greece. Man endeavouring to get among the top 3 of the 6 today, and he's launched himself out a really good distance, beyond 4 meters 50 certainly.
Has jumped over 5 meters this season.
Pavlik's world record set last year is 5:44. Pavlik's already gone out to 5:07. Petropoulos looking to get close to the medals, and, well, he's in there. 4:87 has him in 3rd.
Early days at the moment. Swansea 2014.com is the place to check on all the results, including this one in a few moments' time.
Yes, we enter the semi-final domain of the men's 400 meters T20, a category which was only reintroduced in the last 3 years or so. As a result of this, a lot of lifetime bests set this year. Cristiano Pereira, 55.03. He's in 7. For the Netherlands in 6. Huberto Juventak. And we've seen some drama involving the Dutch over 400 meters already this morning. Now for Spain, Fernando Batista is in lane 5. 19 years old, but not the youngest in the field. For Italy in 4, Ruud Kutiki. Kutiki the fastest in this field. And Vladimir Samolyuk of Russia, he's in lane 3. He is the youngest at age 18, turned 18 last month. 56.35 as lifetime best set this year. It's the first 3 who qualify for the final, plus the next 2 fastest losers. But the fastest man overall across both semi-finals is in this, and here he is, Kutiki of Italy. T20, the intellectual category. So, Samolyuk, Kutiki, Batista, Juventak, Pereira. Away first time, and a bit of a slow start from Pereira, but he'll try and get into his stride now. It's the Dutchman, Juventak, leading quite well, but now he's been overtaken by Kutiki, who was well out on his own, trying to move up. Juventak and Batista for Spain, and it's a good response from both Batista and Juventak in this semi-final, where it's the first 3 who progress. Kutiki now beginning to be reeled in slightly by the Dutchman alongside Juventak. It's a 4-way battle for qualification for the 3 automatic spots. Very little difficulty for Kutiki. Batista now coming up alongside Juventak in 3rd, and they're the 3 who'll progress. 54.04 the winning time. Samolyuk will have to wait. But by 100 meters into that, well, Kutiki was well in control. And though Batista was giving him a bit to think about in the closing straight, that was accomplished and very comfortable. Kutiki, Batista, Juventak, the 1, 2, 3, and they all make it through to tonight's final. Be a busy evening of finals here in Swansea. Well, these were the 3 who pretty much dominated the race. Samolyuk tried to give the rest a bit to think about in that closing straight. In the end, it was only Juventak who he'd have been able to reel in, but he'll hang on as the fastest loser. Kutiki came away brought Batista with him. And Trevian is the third to go through to the final. These three were head and shoulders ahead of the rest pretty much. Samuel gave it a very good go. He'll have to wait as the fastest loser. May have a very good chance of making it too. But that's the opening semi-final of the men's 400 metres T20. And you can just see that, well, Samuel Yuk, I think by that stage, knew pretty much there was too much left for him to do. As for Kutiki, smiles all the way, no problem. Into the final as the winner. That's always the best way to deal with the semi-final. So Ruud Kutiki takes it away. Batista Drevinchuk also through. Personal best for Samuel Yuk. He'll have to hold on.
Let's go back to the men's shot put, the F33 final. And this, the final competitor, Ioannis Katranas of Greece. Yevgeny Malik in the gold medal position, 11.88. Katranas is not going to challenge him. All of his throws have been around 6.5, 7 meters. Including that one, 7.15, 7.36 is best. That means Yevgeny Malik of Russia will take the gold medal. It's a Russia 1-2. And he was immensely impressive. Going out second, 11.88 his best throw. Alexander Krupin of Russia takes the silver, and Daniel Schal of Germany the bronze. And from the moment Malik went out into the circle, his general demeanor suggested he was going to produce a gold medal performance, and that's just what he did. And Kieran Shanowski of Great Britain down in fourth.
Well, now we're going to show you the women's javelin, the F34, one of 4 finals in the field currently taking place. We saw a good bit of Bremer Skronek of Germany earlier, one of the prime candidates for glory. Well, a compatriot, Frances Herman, won silver in the shot put in the last European Championships in the Netherlands. And she's progressing very well here. She's overtaken Bremer Skronek by this stage. Marie Bremer Skrovnek's best throw, 15.76. And Herman has now overtaken her to go into the silver medal position.
Back out now to the long jump, which is currently in progress in the T36 final. Mariusz Sobczak of Poland, who has an immensely impressive record over many, many years. He's mainly been traveling in the wake of Roman Pavlik in recent years. But can he overcome the Ukrainian to take gold here? That's a very impressive start. 5.09 puts him into the lead in the early stages for the man who was back in silver behind Pavlik at the World and Paralympic Championships.
So Bondarenko, as he tries to surge up into the medals here, he's launched himself out to around 5 meters. Maybe just a little bit below. Well, Pavlik has had a very good competition. Solid 5-meter jumping for Ukraine. Bondarenko, the only Russian in the field, 4.73. His best hasn't improved, that 4.55.
Now we have the second semi-final in the T20 category for the men, over 400 meters. 2 Portuguese, a Spaniard, a Croat, and a Ukrainian. And as Will was saying earlier on, T20 has been reintroduced relatively recently. There is Vasil Belenko of Ukraine. 24-year-old. Carlos Lima of Portugal. 54.95. His personal best. Goran Jelic, the Croat, has run inside 54 seconds this season. But this man should be the class of the field. Leon Bel Rodriguez of Spain, 51.6. Antonio Montero of Portugal has run close to 54 seconds, but not this season. So 3 qualify, plus 2 fastest losers. And Dionabel Rodriguez in lane 4 should be the man to watch here. But it could be a real scrap behind him to get the other 2 guaranteed qualification places. Second semi-final in the men's 400 meters in the T20 category. And they do get away first time, and Rodriguez very, very quickly closes down on the man outside him, Goran Jelic, and he is streaking through the field at the moment, and he is going to lead by some distance as they come along the back straight. And just look at him go. 51.6 is his personal best, and he seems determined to beat this in the semi-final. It's going to be Dionabel Rodriguez all the way unless something happens. Carlos Lima is doing his best to stick with him. Vasil Belenko of Ukraine looks to be the man closest to him at the moment, but it's going to be Dionabel Rodriguez, the 23-year-old from Spain. He is now being pressurized in the closing stages by Belenko, but Rodriguez comes in, easing up 51.77. Belenko will join him in the final, along with Carlos Lima of Portugal. But that is very, very impressive there from Dionabel Rodriguez. 51.77, the winning time. Not too far away from his personal best. What has he got left for the final? But he went off very, very quickly there. Tied up ever so slightly in the final 100 meters, but he was looking around, and he knew at that stage his job had been done. Belenko of Ukraine had to work just a bit harder to join him. And it was a bit of a scramble for Carlos Lima of Portugal to take the final guaranteed place. But he ran a personal best of 53.69. And Montero, his fellow countryman, with 55.45, will have to wait and see if he is a fastest loser. But Dionabel Rodriguez looks to be the man to beat in the T20 category. Goran Jelic of Croatia did not manage to finish. But Carlos Lima with a personal best, joining the 2 front runners in the final. So confirmation that Montero does indeed make it as one of the fastest losers. But Belenko and Rodriguez should be the main contenders when the medals will be awarded.
And speaking of which, we've got 3 medal ceremonies on the way now. A couple of javelin ceremonies, men's T56 and women's F37, but that will follow the women's 800 meters T54, which was another well-contested battle from last night. And one of the great names of the week rewarded yet again. Switzerland are hoovering up an impressive amount of golds here this week. And Welashar doing it yet again here. This was a very, very good race, and actually for an 800 meters, quite tactical. Excellent result for Alexandra Helbling, and it's Dame Tanni Gray, the great Dame Tanni Gray Thompson, presenting the medals this morning. And Alexandra Helbling, who won European bronze 2 years ago, does it again here, the Swiss star.
winner of the silver medal, representing Great Britain and Northern Ireland, Jane Jones.
Jay Jones gets the silver for Britain. A very good display. It was bronze in Glasgow in the Commonwealth Games. I'm told it's a Baroness, Tanny Gray Thompson now, but I'm foreign, I don't know these things. Great victory, though, again, for Manuela Schär of Switzerland. What a very successful week it's proving to be for Switzerland overall here in Swansea. Six gold medals now. Huga's 1-2, beat Bosch 1, and Manuela Schär 3. Here's the Swiss anthem. So Schär takes the honours ahead of Jade Jones and Alexandra Helbling, two young athletes who I think have got a cracking future ahead of both of them. Men's long jump, T36, third attempt for our leader, Roman Pavlik. 5:07, 5:08 so far, and the world record holder has put in another solid 5-metre effort here to try to extend his advantage over the field. He's ahead of Maria Sobczak of Poland and Marcin Michalek, another Pole. Nation that's making great strides in parasport. Ukraine already there. They've a great scouting system. And Pavlik increases his lead. That's 5:13. So one of the three poles in this final, Pavel Petrovsky. Shot put mainly his discipline, but he's a great thrower. As we said, 5 throwing gold medals in major championships. Maybe the jumping needs to be worked on a bit. Hasn't got beyond 4 meters yet. And Petrovsky has hit 4 meters for the first time today. So the next medal ceremony will be for the javelin, and it's the men's F56 from last night, where Finland took the honours again. Another excellent javelin throwing nation. So this men's F56. And Mustafa Yusinov of Bulgaria taking the bronze medal here. Bulgaria weighing in with occasional medals this week.
Winner of the silver medal, representing Serbia, Milos Zaric.
Milos Zaric of Serbia. Good competition, but when one of the great javelin nations get in their stride, they do tend to do very well in this, and that was the case last night. So Zaric of Serbia picks up the silver medal, but it is another fine, impressive gold medal for Finland. And this is Aleksei Kirjanen, who finished top of the pole. So the medals are again presented by Tanni Gray-Thompson. And Finland have the gold medal. Good performing.
The ceremony for the women's javelin in the F37 category, which also took place last night.
Right, let's return to the men's shot put final, F12. And this is Andrei Holovets of Ukraine, a regular throwing medalist. He's won the last 3 major shot put championship titles. London 2012, he is world champion, he's European champion, he's got the full set. He wants to be winner here again today. Vladimir Andriushenko of Russia's had a very good start, 14.49 his opening throw. Holovets very competitive in this. 14.15 we've heard being called out by the officials. 14.36 in the second round puts him in second place.
And back out now to the long jump pit. And here is a man, Milosarek of Poland, who's gone over 5 meters so far. May have just gone beyond the board there. But if that is legal, then that will be in excess of 5 meters. Milosarek comes into this as one of the contenders. And that is why 5.15, enough to give him the lead. And the pressure now is on Roman Pavlik to respond.
Well, it's a good competitive competition at the moment. And those flags continue to flutter, but certainly not at the same pace as we saw yesterday. So let's take a look now at Mariusz Sobczak of Poland. And this is his 4th attempt. He's second on 5.09. Well, that's around 5 meters again. He'll be doing very well to improve, though. 5.27 is season's best. 5.31 is lifetime best. And of this field, only the world record holder, Roman Pavlik, has gone out further in his career, and that is the world record.
And we now go back to the podium. And it's the women's javelin, F37. And we're going to hear the Russian national anthem once again. Victory on this occasion for Svetlana Sergeyeva. But this was a very tight, intense battle for the medals. Eva Berner of the Czech Republic, who is often used to appearing at the top of the podium, having to settle for bronze this time. But it was a Russian 1-2 as the Czech Republic athlete shows off her medal. Arina Kvetinaskaya. Thankfully, the Lady Mayoress doesn't need the brolly today. And she hands out the silver medal.
IPC Athletics European Champion in the distance of 24.
But in an event dominated by the Russians, Svetlana Sergeyeva finished on top of the podium this time. So glory again for Russia.
So Russian glory again, but that is not possible in the women's javelin F34 final. There's no Russians in this. Now let's take a look at Lucina Kornobis, who's doing very well in this competition so far. Her best 15.71. She's in 4th place, but that looked to be maybe a little bit further. At the moment, 15.77 would get her into the medals. She has a chance maybe of bronze. Scrap that, she's a chance of gold. She's into the lead, she's overtaken all of them. 16.32, pole position for the pole.
Back now to the long jump. And here is Roman Pavlik of Ukraine, the man who has dominated this event at world and Paralympic level. But he's got some work to do here. And he may well have done it, at this stage at least. He has 5.23, the new leader.
So this now is Piotrowski of Poland, one of 3 Polish athletes in this competition. Generally quite good in the field events on this and the IAAF circuit. They've got in Anita Włodarczyk, one of the great throwers on the IAAF side of things. Piotrowski launching himself out. It's not really the event that he finds himself excelling in. He is more of a thrower. 382 he's put himself out to, and that puts him into 6th place.
Let's go back to the women's javelin competition. And here is our leader, Konobis of Poland. Birgit Kober is still to go, and that will not better. 16:32, maybe a foul anyway, due to the way it landed. It is 16:32 is the mark to beat for Kobis.
So back into the men's long jump, and this is Mikhail Bondarenko of Russia. We are into the final round now. Bondarenko lying in 5th place on 473. Needs to improve by 32 centimeters to get into the medals. Well, it's around 5 meters. He might push himself up into 4th above Petropolis of Greece. But I'm not sure that's good enough from a man who wasn't showing major form going into this final. He's may feel he's outperformed himself. Good consistency. All of his attempts before this between 455 and 473. This one is 4 meters 70. We're in the penultimate round of the long jump. Still a bit to go.
And we go back to the track, and it's another race in the T20 category, the men's 1500 meters. And as we were saying earlier on, this is not an event or a classification which has been used in recent years.
There's only one major medalist in this field, and he'll be the one who's hugging the inside track. A lot of personal bests set this year. Jose Azevedo of Portugal. Pavel Sakiev of Russia alongside him. Wearing 500, Samuel Freitas, also of Portugal. One of 3 Portuguese in this final. 3 Russians and a Ukrainian as well.
And he has been under 4 minutes personal best. Alexander Rapodnitsky. Now Cristiano Pereira, 3:58.94. Marks him down as one of the major contenders at the start of this race. Pavlo Vodyukevich of Ukraine. Vyacheslav Krustalev of Russia. And he could be the man to possibly break up potential Portuguese domination of this race. 3:54.07 is the world record set by Rafał Korks of Poland back in 2003.
Well, he's been the dominant force in this, along with his Polish compatriot Daniel Peck, but neither of them are here this week. Opens the door for the rest. So the men's 1500 meters T20 final is underway. 3 from Portugal, Azevedo, Freitas and Pereira. 3 from Russia, Krystaliev, Rabinitsky and Sakiev, plus the Ukrainian Pavlo Vodyukevich. Kork, the world record holder, set it in 2003 in Tunis when the T20 category was not underneath the IPC umbrella, but it's back in for the last 3-4 years. The reigning European champion is Rafał Kork. Andrei Kalinin won the silver for Ukraine that day, and Krystaliev, who's in this field, won the bronze medal, as he did last year in the World Championships in Lyon, where the gold went to Iran and Peyman Naziri Bazanjani. We've got 3 laps to go, and they're all bunched together.
Jose Azevedo happy to take up the front running at the start. Rabotnitsky is in 2nd place, and as Azevedo comes wide, Rabotnitsky comes through on the inside in the white vest to take the lead, but it's going to be a very, very competitive race. And the Portuguese at the moment do seem to be almost running as a team, taking it in turns to head towards the front of the field.
Well, remember as well that I actually think all 3 Russian athletes are wearing different colours and different vests, and now we have a little bit of movement to stretch things out along the front, and it is one of those Russians, the one in the dark singlet, Pavel Sakiev, who's leading the way, and he's opened the field up here. In 3rd place for Ukraine is Pavlo Vodyukevich, but they'll come through for the 3rd last time in the crown of the bend, and it's Sakiev who's decided to make a very sharp quick move straight away to try and stretch things out here. Looks to be Pereira who's in second place, and now just behind him for the Ukraine. Little bit of movement coming from Vukojevic. It's Pereira who's lying in second place, but what a move's been made by Sakiev here.
And his personal best, 4:08.63. And he may have to surpass that if he's to take the gold medal here and maintain this sort of pace. But he's building a very strong lead along the back straight, and he's caused a good deal of panic among those behind him. There's quite a scramble now to try and catch up with those in second and third, and the Portuguese, leading Portuguese, has now been surpassed by one of the Russians. And it's Krustaliev who is looking to come forward in towards second place. And in a race we thought would have been dominated by the Portuguese runners, it's the Russians who are 1 and 2 at the moment. Krustaliev in second place, but he's a long way behind Sakiev as they come towards the bell.
And the bell is on the way. It's being led by Sakiev in the dark blue singlet for Russia. He's about to be overtaken by Krustaliev, who's wearing the normal Brazilian singlet. And also up there now for Portugal is Cristiano Pereira. Behind them in fourth place, quite a bit back, is the Ukrainian here, and that's Vukojevic, and it looks like one of the Portuguese, Azevedo, has stepped off the track. So we've got three ahead of the rest. It's Sakiev who's in second place, behind Krustaliev in the Russian singlet that we've come to know quite well down through the years. And Pereira is in third place for Portugal. 200 meters to go, and it looks like Krustaliev, who you might say in terms of medals is the class of the field, having won bronze in 2 of the last 3 major championships. It's been dominated by Poland and Iran since it came back 3-4 years ago, but it looks like Russian gold this time for Krustaliev, as he'll have a gold medal to add to his 2 bronzes from previous championships. But look at this fight back coming from Pereira. Might not be able to get there in time. It'll be gold for Krustaliev. Pereira gets the silver, and it's bronze for Sakiev, as Vukojevic of Ukraine is in 4th place. Freitas is 5th, and it will be the 3rd Russian in the 3rd set of Russian colours, Rabotnitsky, who comes home in 6th, and that was just a shade under 4 minutes dead, 4:00.08, and the gold goes to Krustaliev.
And he timed that perfectly there. He allowed Azevedo to go off very quickly at the start of the race, and he burned himself out with just over a lap to go. And Krustaliev there came through to take that very dominantly, a shade over 4 minutes, just outside his personal best. But he made that move there, right on the bell, and no one else could really live with him. Freitas tried to come through and pressurise him on the end, but he gave himself too much to do.
Yes, very good, strong front running by Krustaliev, who made his move at the right time, and he had the confidence backed up by the medals he's won over the last 2 years, including bronze of the last European Championships in Stadskanaal in the Netherlands. Pereira was coming good. Maybe the move ought to have been made 100 meters earlier on, but actually in shot there you can see the 3 different coloured Russian singlets. Very good result. Victory for Krustaliev. And Pereira, well, it's a very good silver medal for the Portuguese, the only one from Portugal to medal, and Sakiev takes the bronze. Personal best, 4:02.71.
So Krustaliev will be delighted that the T20 classification has been returned to the European Championships, as Russia extend their lead at the top of the medal table.
Well, this is the main grandstand here at Swansea University Stadium and Sketty Lane, one of 2 major stadiums along this stretch of road leading to the west of Wales. Back to the field now. And the men's shot put. This is the great Kim Lopez of Spain, who's won gold here already this week in the discus. He's the world champion in that as well. Won the bronze of the last Europeans. IAAF rules normal ones under this, so it's one throw per round, and it's a huge field, by the way. One of the largest field finals we've seen, 15 in it, and Kim Lopez is in the lead, 14.89.
And the field will be whittled down the longer we go on as we go back to the long jump pit. Milcerek of Poland, and again, that's very, very decent from him. Will it be enough to put him towards the top of the leaderboard? He's been around 5 meters, 470, so currently he is in second place.
And Sobczak is in third, 5.09, his best so far. Needs to improve by around 20 to get the gold, and he has improved, I think. Sobczak with a very, very impressive leap out. Well, Poland second and third at the moment, and it may stay that way, but do the names change? That's out beyond 5 meters, certainly. Good attempt by Sobczak. Now it needs to be 5.24 to get above Pavlik in the gold medal position. Has he managed to do that? Was in bronze, now it's silver for Sobczak. 5.20, and that means Pavlik gets the gold.
So the world champion and the Paralympic champion is now the European champion. His final attempt with the gold medal in the bag, and it could be his longest so far today. Roman Pavlik also has a bronze medal on the track at these championships in the 200 meters. A terrific all-round athlete, and he has saved the best for last. 5.28 to underline his superiority in this category. So Roman Pavlik, another major gold medal in the T36 long jump. And Sobczak and Milcerek of Poland, second and third. But again, another wonderful competition in the long jump pit.
Well, the long jumps have really been entertaining us this week. It's been really high quality stuff, major competition, and the lead regularly changing hands.
Birgit Kober now in the javelin, the F34, the world champion, put under pressure. This her 5th attempt. And that's very, very good. Not too far short of the 20-meter line. And the world champion is about to become the European champion as well. 1956, her best throw so far, and that will give her another gold medal for Germany.
Now let's show you a new event. It is the club throw. F32 51. It's a dual category, this, for the women, and this is Gemma Prescott. Remember, all 6 throws taken at the one time. There's 7 in this final. There's 4 for Britain. Prescott is the first to go. Also in this is Catherine O'Neill, who's been a regular medalist at major championships going back for quite a few years.
European record holder O'Neill, Gemma Prescott, a bronze medal in the World Championships last year. And it's a points event as well, because we have different categories involved.
Well, we'll see Josie Pearson go later for Britain, who won bronze at the World Championships last year.
And she is also very dominant in the discus as well, reigning Paralympic and world champion in that. But we have a mix of F51 and F32 athletes here.
Gemma also a major bronze medalist, and, well, I suppose being British, the best place to do it at London 2012.
4 Brits involved in this. Greek, Irish and Hungarian, the other athletes. And that's skipping up towards the 20-meter line, but not beyond it.
Also in this, the reigning European champion, Maria Stamatula of Greece, who we may see a little later. Very competitive in this. Catherine O'Neill's most recent medal in the club, silver at the last European Championships. But they'll all have their chance in the spotlight later.
So 1877. The second throw, and we go back to the final attempt for the gold medalist, Birgit Kober, in the F34 women's javelin. Her earlier throw of 1956 guaranteed her the gold medal, a season's best. And she has been peppering close to the 20-meter line. 1886 to finish. Another major medal for Birgit Kober of Germany. So Kober of Germany, the gold medal. Lucinia Korobis of Poland with the silver. And Maria Heikkinen, the bronze for Finland.
Now let's go back to the club. And Gemma Prescott, bronze medalist at London 2012 and at the Christchurch World Championships in 2011. Those championships held at the start of the year, and when the Worlds go to Doha next year, it'll be towards the end of the year, and that's a really good one. That's beyond 20 meters. 21.84, her lifetime best set this year, and she is the top ranked athlete in terms of those in the field. She's an F32. Catherine O'Neill is the F51 European record holder. Rachel Morrison, the world record holder, the American set this year in the Czech Republic with a 21.90. Prescott has thrown 81.24 this year and 20.39 today. She's the first to go. It's a points event, so that's 905 points.
She came into this with the best season's best and the best personal best. And after bronze medals in previous major championships, will it be gold this time? And talking of Brits doing well in throwing events, we hope to be joined by Ala Davis after 11 o'clock local time in the next 20 minutes or so. Of course, a gold medalist in the discus yesterday.
Well, she's progressing very well in this competition, Gemma Prescott. It's a combination of wheelchair category and a cerebral palsy category, and always tends to be the case in club events and in a couple of the throws as well.
Hey, fourth competition throw.
So she's had a little break in the middle. Prescott looking to progress. Now that is short of 20. If she can improve in her mark, well, maybe pushing a little closer towards the world record, in which she did so well earlier this year. Came very close to breaking that mark of Rachel Morrison.
So 18.99. That's her second best throw so far.
Well, good consistency in her throwing so far. She hasn't thrown less than 17 meters. That was her first effort. Everything's been beyond 1850 since then. And Only Joanna Butterfield and Abby Hunniset, who are also both athletes representing Britain, have thrown as far as a worse throw. So Prescott with a great chance of gold. And I know it's very early, but in terms of the rankings, Britain could do very, very well here. I don't recall a clean sweep by anybody so far this week.
Not even Russia?
Not to say that there hasn't been one. They've had an immense week, Russia.
No, I don't think we have. We've had Russia 1 and 2 and 2 and 3, but not quite a 1, 2, 3. But this could be the opportunity. 19.08 for Gemma Prescott.
So the final throw of Gemma Prescott.
And that's not going to better 2039. So she will take 905 points as the standard to set for everybody else.
We had the club throw at the last Paralympic Games in London, but not the previous two. We've sat through every event so far this week, and there I can confirm, had a scan through the results, there hasn't been a clean sweep yet. That could still happen here. We're in the second last day. And we've got two medal ceremonies to come. The men's 100 meters T52, which will be preceded by the F35 men's shot put. That's now.
And this was more success for Russia and Ukraine. More Russian success as well. First of all, Timofey Kolarov of Ukraine. He takes the bronze medal.
Without the silver medal, representing Poland,
Tomasz Poliński of Poland took the silver. He is absent this morning. So Alexander Elmin of Russia will take another gold medal. One of the events which was completed late last night.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the Russian Federation.
So more success for Russia, Alexander Elmin. The men's shot put F35. And we go back to the women's club throw, F32 stroke 51 category.
First competition throw.
And there is plenty of Hungarian support in the stands here. Watching Christina Kalman. Personal best of 16:45. Not thrown beyond 13 meters so far this year. But that's very, very impressive. As far as she's concerned, 14:76, and that's a season's best for her. And at the other end of the stadium, we have the men's shot put. And this is Sergei Shatilov, currently down in 5th place, 13:65. His best throw, which came in the opening round. And that is over 12 meters. May not take him above the man ahead of him, Vukic. 14:19 is the throw in 4th place. (13:14), so Shatilov stays in 5th place. And we go back to the podium. And it's the men's 100 meters in the T52 category. This was more success for Switzerland. Mario Trindade picked up the bronze medal. Another silver for Russia, but they were unable to finish on top of the podium this time. Shivkovsky. We have a Swiss gold medalist, beat Bush. Somebody other than Marcel Hugues or Manuela Shire, who is on top of the podium for the Swiss national anthem. So Switzerland really enjoying themselves here at these IPC European Championships.
So back to the field and back to the women's club. This is the F32, F51 final combined category, which means it's done on points. And we're watching Kristina Kalman of Hungary, the second of 7 throwers in this, trying to catch up with Gemma Prescott's 2039, which equates to 905 points. Kalman, who's been knocking around 15 meters for a lot of the competition, but that's a serious improvement. 18:47 establishes her successfully in second place, and by 2 meters, that's a new lifetime best. That's fabulous. 789 points. She's about 100 points away from our leader Prescott, but there's still 5 throws left. All 6 throws taken at once, don't forget. So, Kalman of Hungary, who has really done something fantastic in terms of her career. That was 1676. So it's back to the track, and this is the final of the women's 200 meters T11 for athletes of complete visual impairment. And we've seen a lot of these 4 so far. Vido almost made the final, but fell on the line in her semi-final. That opened the door for the Finns to come in, and that includes Ronja Oja, who's being partnered by her brother Jesper. She finished 6th in the long jump final. Osna Yilmaz, the 100 meters European champion from this week, with as her guide Arda Eris. She's 17. Well, we've seen 2 medals this week for Ariola Dedai of Italy, guided by Giulia Riva. Silver in the long jump, bronze in the 100. And Elisa Montonen of Finland, bronze in the long jump. And her guide is Sonia Turnbull-Smith. So Vito came very close to making this final. Domination from Brazil. Purificación Santa Maria Bravo is the European record holder from Atlanta 96. Santa Marta Bravo, and the great Teresina Guillermina is the world record holder and world champion. So Montonen of Finland in 1, Dedai of Italy in 3, Osna Yilmaz of Turkey in 5, and Oja of Finland in lane 7. But Dedai, who has done marvelously in the sprints and the jumps so far, Osna Yilmaz taking the 100 meters gold, is on her outside. Dedai, based near Milan. So it's Montonen, Dedai, Osna Yilmaz, and Oja. Final of the T11 women's 200 meters. Montonen in 1, Dedai 3, Yilmaz 5, Oja 7. And they are away in this 200 meters final, and a strong start in 5 from the 100 meters European champion this week, Osna Yilmaz of Turkey. Dedai beginning to make a very strong move also in lane 3, and, well, Oja trying to get back into it. Now, can they keep Osna Yilmaz on the straight and narrow in the lead? Dedai fighting behind it, and quick, but it's going to be gold for Turkey. For Osna Yilmaz'a, Deday in second place, and Oya takes Finnish bronze. Well, in terms of form and ratings and rankings, it always looked as if it would be Finland 3 and 4. Well, they might have had a chance if things had gone wrong up ahead of sweeping up 2 medals. But it's gold for Turkey, and Osna Yilmaz'a with Ariola Deday taking her 3rd medal of the week. It's her 3rd silver, and Ronya Oya takes the bronze for Finland. Fine finish, fine race, and Turkey sweep it up.
So a terrific sprint double for the Turks and the 17-year-old. And we are now joined by somebody who enjoyed great success yesterday in the field for Great Britain. Delighted to say we're joined live by Aled Davies, who won the shot put in the F42 classification yesterday. You've got the discus coming up tomorrow, so is it a day off today?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me, first of all. And yeah, I mean, it's just about recovery now. I'm preparing for tomorrow, and hopefully the weather will stay like this.
It was pretty ugly for you yesterday, both in terms of the weather and the way you won it.
Yeah, I mean, sideways rain is always the worst, but it's the Swansea summertime at the end of the day. But yeah, like I said, it was an ugly win, and a lot of the guys were below par, including myself. So at the end of the day, we just wanted to get out there and get the medals, and a win's a win.
And of course, people looking at Paralympic sport will look at the Paralympics in 2 years, the World Championships next year, but what do you do in between those events? It's a lot of hard work.
Definitely. I mean, it's just like the able-bodied guys we graft, if not harder, and a lot of these guys have got to overcome their disabilities and barriers to try and work around that and strengthen areas that they haven't been able to, and that's the key, really. That's the key to the next level and taking our events to the next level. And I think over the next few years, you're going to see the standard of Paralympic sport rise dramatically, and you're seeing that here today. Guys delivering tremendous performances, and I cannot even describe the horrendous conditions that there have been.
And how much do you focus on your classification, or can you come to an event like this and enjoy everything in the round?
When I'm at a major event, I always enjoy everything. I mean, I have so much respect for the other athletes and the variations of disabilities. I got to take my hat off to them, and it's always great to see people, and you just sit there and think, how is that happening?
Now we've got 4 British competitors here in the club throw, in the F32/51, and they should be confident of 1, maybe 2 medals here.
Yeah, definitely. I reckon we can definitely take a few medals in this one. We have a strong contingency, and you know, it's a good day for Britain in the club.
And you look at the medals table. Obviously, Russia are dominant, but you're not doing too badly yourselves as a team.
No, we're getting there. I mean, considering, you know, Russia have always got strength in numbers, and across the classes, you know, we have a lot of stars that are coming through now. We've seen that over the past couple of days where we're taking golds in events that we've never had strength in before, and it's exciting to see. And it bodes well for us in the games and championships coming up.
Abi Hunniset with 1768. Just finally, you've got the discus coming up tomorrow. Big Saturday crowd. More pressure on you?
Yeah, well, it's good. I mean, I hope there is. I hope there's a big crowd. I really do. It'd be good to see the end of the championships come off with a big crowd and people wanting to see great performances. And if it stays like this, I really want to deliver a great performance with, obviously, the disappointment of Glasgow getting the silver. I'd like to finish my season on a gold.
That was a massive motivation for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, going in there, I was against Dan Greaves, who goes this afternoon, funny enough, in the F44 discus. A guy I have massive respect for, and he's a phenomenal athlete, and he's in great form at the moment. I'm sure he, you know, if the weather's generous, he'll go 60 meters plus, which is, you know, great for Paralympic sport and great for his event. And you know, I know it would have taken a lot to beat him. So obviously, I was disappointed because everyone has aspirations of gold. But I know he'll make me a better athlete in the long run.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, Aled. Good luck. Thank you. Well done in the shot put yesterday, and good luck in the discus coming up tomorrow. That's Aled Davies joining us live here. And you can chat about this at Swansea2014.com, at IPC Athletics on Twitter, and use the hashtag Swansea2014. And plenty of support here for Abi Hunniset in the club throw. One of 4 great British athletes.
Yes, we're going to go back.
Aled, and here's one of the competitors in another classification.
Yeah, it's the shot put, and it is our leader, Kim Lopez, doing very well so far up to this stage. Lopez, who earlier threw 14.89 to go in front. Andriushenko is beginning to put a little bit of pressure up on as well. But Kim Lopez leading, and that's a personal best actually, 15.55. Very impressive. And more medal ceremonies are on the way, and the women's 400 T44 coming up, but it's another shot put before that, the men's F36. And of course, Russia doing very well in this also.
Vladimir Sviridov of Russia, the gold medalist in this event. Okay. Sebastian Dietz of Germany taking the silver medal. And this one of the events which was completed last night, and Vladimir Sviridov of Russia. Yet another gold medal for the side and the nation at the top of the medal table. So victory in the shot put for Germany. And there could be home success developing in the women's club throw.
Yes, because Gemma Prescott is leading, and Abby Hunset has made her way into the medals as well in third place. This is her fourth attempt. Third didn't go well, but the fourth has. That's close to 20 meters, a couple of meters short from Abby Hunset. 19.13 her lifetime best. A set this year, which has her ranked second going into this final. Mixture of 4 F32 athletes and 3 F51s. And even though, well, they are all wheelchair athletes, but those in the 30s are cerebral palsy, and those in the 50s are seated field athletes. But they've decided that the categories are quite close, so it's always worth bunching them together. And she's doing really well here. Well, that moves her, I think, up into second place. 18.58 in the fourth round. Moves her into second place. The first throwers are all 32s, but it is a points category, and she's 7 points clear of Kalman of Hungary.
And that's not quite as far. So 18.58, and she has a lead over Kalman of 7 points. And of course, the Hungarian has already thrown. And there'll be a challenge from lower down the field from Catherine O'Neill of Ireland and fellow Brits of Josie Pearson and Joanna Butterfield.
Competition drive.
And again, that's midway between the 10 and 20 metre line. 15.75, so 18.58, 796 points. Good enough for second place. This, the victory ceremony for one of the best races we've seen. One of the biggest stories we've seen so far, the women's 400 metres in the T44. And victory for France. And Marlou van Rijn, after 2 gold medals, has to settle for a bronze this time. And she was saying after the race that fatigue played its part after a very busy first couple of days here. 2 gold medals followed by a bronze. Ingard Bensersen, another position on the podium for the German, but it's not gold. Marie-Amélie Lefebvre of France chose not to be involved in the competition until 400 metres, and that was justified with a gold medal and a world record. First world record on the track during these championships. Conditions have not really been conducive to quick running, but Lefebvre made light of them here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of France.
Well, her image was used majorly in advance of last year's World Championships in Lyon. All of the great French names in advance of Lyon 2013, and they generally delivered. Now let's return to the shot, which is one of the events of the morning. And this is the final throw of the great André Holovets, who's currently lying in the bronze medal position. Can he move up? Can he make a bit of damage here right at the end? He's finished off with 2 fouls, but it's been a very good final, this. Andrei Holovets in 3rd place behind Andriushenko and Kim Lopez. And Andriushenko this is, who currently is thrown out to 15 meters 18.
Not this time, though.
He's won an immense amount of titles before. Discus, he's won the discus and the shot put goals at the 2011 World Championships.
And here is the start list back on the track for the first of 2 semi-finals in the men's 400 meters in the T34 category. There are plenty of medals already won in this quartet. Ben Rowlings of Great Britain, a bronze in the 800 meters. And Bojan Mitic of Switzerland, silver in the 100, bronze in the 200. Personal best of 54.66 set this season. Well, we've seen Henry Manny win 3 gold medals so far. This, his brother Thomas. Henry goes in the other semi-final. Ben Rowlings of Great Britain. The 18-year-old has gone 56.61 this season. Hence Schulling of the Netherlands would need to break a minute here, you feel, to make the final. The first 3 in each heat qualify, along with 2 fastest losers from both semi-finals. The European record, 53.29, set by Henry Manny in Switzerland earlier this year. And Bojan Mitic, the Swiss, in lane 6, the quickest man out on the track so far this year. And Mitic looks to get away quickly from lane 6, and he's done that. And Thomas Manny is having to trail in his wake at the moment. Ben Rowlings also going well in lane 4 as they head down the back straight. And Bojan Mitic, who will be determined to add to his silver and bronze medal already at Swansea 2014, has an early statement of intent in the semi-final of the 400 metres in the T34 category. Manny has done well to stay with him and hold off the challenge of Ben Rowlings at the moment. Hence Schulling is some way behind, and these 3 are guaranteed to qualify. As things stand, the question is, who will win the race? And at the moment, Ben Rowlings for Great Britain is coming through, and 3 of them in a line as they come towards the final 50 metres. But it's going to be Bojan Mitic who takes it first, Manny in second, Rowlings in third, and that was well under a minute. A very quick time there from Bojan Mitic to win it. All 3 may have been under a minute. The clock kept running as Henk Schulling came over the line, a distant 4th. 57.03 the time for Bojan Mitic. He is the winner. Manny 57.58, the first time he's been inside a minute. That's a personal best for him. And he did very well to try and stick with Mitic, who won it pulling away in the end. Manny in second, Rowlings 57.71, just outside his personal best. All 3 will qualify for the final. Hence Schulling, 1 minute 5.84. We'll have to hope it's a very, very slow semi-final coming up shortly. But Mitic, impressive there. Henry Manny will be the hot favourite should he come through. But it was a good race between him and his brother Thomas there. An 18-year-old Ben Rowlings who benefits from the Paralympic Podium Potential Fund. Well inside a minute and into the final as well.
Well, let's go back to the field events, and now the club. And this is Maria Stamatoula of Greece, who's trying to force her way into the medals. Kalman, 1847 in third place, 789 points. And Stamatoula doing her best to make her way up the standings here. She's the fourth of 7 throwers. The remaining ones are Catherine O'Neill, the former discus world champion from Christchurch, and 2 more British athletes, Josie Pearson and Joanna Butterfield. Right now it's Britain 1 and 2 with Gemma Prescott and Abby Hunnisett. So Stamatoula starts off 11.04, but further improvement needed of around 5-6 meters, and she is the reigning European champion from 2 years ago in Stadskanaal.
Second competition.
11.04 to start off with this attempt number 2. Well, she's thrown 15.17 this year and has a lifetime best of 17.62, so anything even between those would give her a good opportunity of a medal. One a bit further, maybe by a meter or so. 11.98, she stays in 4th place. Needs 18.47 to go further. But now, here is Kim Lopez, the gold medalist, in the shot, and he knows now that victory is his. What a brilliant champion he has been in the discus, and now the shot put too. Kim Lopez takes the honours for Spain. 3 fouls, it didn't matter. 15.55, a lifetime best, and he takes the gold impressively for Spain. Ahead of Andrushenko of Russia in 2nd place, and Holovitz 3rd for Ukraine.
But much of the home interest inside the sports village here at Swansea University at the moment is focused
Third competition throw.
on the other end of the stadium. The women's club throw, F32 51. And this is Stamatoula of Greece. It's a points event, so the distance will be recalculated. And at the moment, we have Great Britain 1 and 2, Hungary in the bronze medal position. And Stamatoula needs a great improvement here. Capable of throwing 17.62, that's her personal best, and she needs to better that. Not at the moment. 11.89, which is earning less than 400 points. Kalman has 789 in the bronze medal position. And that's a foul this time. And she is running out of time.
Still a lot to happen in the field. We're going to have the women's long jump very shortly. That's at T47 level. It's one of the amputee categories. And the women's shot put will be coming up later as well. And they will be 2 finals where the battle will be for gold and silver only. Stamatoula needing a major improvement in order to get into the medals here in Swansea. It's the 2nd last day of these European Championships. It goes so quickly. Stamatoula won gold 2 years ago in Stadskanaal, ahead of Catherine O'Neill of Ireland in 2nd place, who comes later, and Vendula Pisarikova, the Czech Republic, who is not here for this competition this week.
We've also got the 2nd semi-final in the men's 400 metres, T34, coming up before we close the morning session here in Swansea.
Stadskanaal is part of Groningen.
So 13.78, her best throw so far. but it's only good enough for 393 points, well behind the bronze medal. And to follow, we will have Catherine O'Neill of Ireland and Great Britain's Josie Pearson and Joanna Butterfield. So at the moment, Kalman is the only person who can deny us a podium, which will be full of athletes from Great Britain or the Republic of Ireland.
Now, here we go, a new event. It is the women's long jump. It is T47, and each of the athletes in this has had a massively successful career, including the bronze medalist in the 100 meters for Greece, Styliani Smagardi. 4:79, her lifetime best, set this year. And she getting us underway. There's 3 in this, so it's simply a gold and silver battle. Nothing for finishing last. That's the point of the -1 rule. It's number 1 for Smagardi, and that's a lifetime best, 4:89. But here's the one to beat. Nicole Rodemankina, the 5 times major championship gold medalist. She's the reigning Paralympic and world champion in the long jump, and that is why. So impressive. 9 major championship medals she's won. She's won the 100 meters here, which means she retained her title. Won the 200 also in Stadskanaal, that city near the German border in northeastern Netherlands 2 years back, and lots of silvers from the sprints too. Maybe it'll be gold here in the long jump. 5:44 and she's in the lead.
Been a lovely morning here in Swansea. Sunshine in the main, plenty of blue sky. And you can follow all of the events. Swansea2014.com is the website. And on Twitter as well, we welcome your comments about the competition at IPC Athletics. Use the hashtag Swansea2014. And I know many of you have been over the past few days. And here is the other competitor in the long jump, Dilba Tanrıkulu of Turkey. Has a personal best of 4:59, which she would need to surpass to win a medal here already. And she's over 4 meters, but not too far beyond it there. Right on the edge of the board. But it's legal, 4:23 in an event where we will only see gold and silver awarded.
So Smagardi, who's already set a lifetime best, 4:89. Can she improve on that a bit more? Get beyond 5 meters in order to put some pressure on Rodemankina. And has Rodemankina earned herself the gold medal already, I wonder? Because Smagardi would have to improve her new lifetime best by 0.5 meter in order to deny Rodemankina the gold. 4:62, and Smagardi remains in the silver medal position.
So Rodemankina looking for the double of 100 meters and the long jump. And this is her second attempt. 5:92, her European record, set last year at the World Championships. And she was slightly in front of the board there possibly, but she's way out over 5 meters again. And she possibly left just a bit on the runway there, and maybe just clipped the front of the board. But it's very impressive. And already she may have won the gold medal with her first attempt of 5:44, and it's a lead in excess of 0.5 meter. 5:31 this time. Not quite as long as the opening attempt, but I think that would probably be impressive enough to win gold anyway.
Well, she's having to wrap herself up because it's got a bit nippy here. Now let's return to the club and let's watch Josie Pearson here. What a successful career she's had, and that might improve into this competition. Pearson, the reigning World and Paralympic Games discus champion, won bronze in this in the Worlds in Lyon last year. Pearson, the third British athlete to compete, and if she gets into the medals right now, the 1, 2, 3 would be Britain all the way, and that's how it is. And she's into the gold medal position, 14:02, and that's 941 on points because she's a different category to everyone else who's thrown so far.
And that guarantees we will have either British or Irish athletes on the podium. Kalman of Hungary has been knocked out of the medals. It's Pearson, Prescott and Honeysett at the moment. And Pearson can only be beaten by Catherine O'Neill of Ireland or Joanna Butterfield, her teammate.
Competition throw.
And it's only Catherine O'Neill now in the way of the first clean sweep of Swansea 2014, and it would be a British 1, 2, 3. She's coming up next, but Pearson still has a lot of throws to get away first. And that's another good one.
Up towards 14 metres maybe again. 14.71 has given her the lead, 986 points. But the red flag this time, possibly lifting off the chair. That was the chat we could hear around the circle. And we did see the red flag. Yep, that's confirmed.
Now, I believe this actually was his second throw, and it's a foul. And the reason why there's been a bit of a discussion now, there was a mark of around 14.80 for Pearson, which was given as her second attempt. But now it's been given as a foul, and that's why
the clock when Klaus is out the cage.
Pearson's
I
been
don't want them
speaking.
throwing before Klaus gets out the cage.
Well, one of the officials was in the cage, and they're not happy about that. They want all the officials to clear out of the cage before the throw takes place. And her coach is not too happy about what's been said here.
And the ironic thing is, I mean, an official in the cage would put her off, and yet it was a best throw, great throw, about 14.80. But because there was an official in the cage, that meant it was chalked off, which meant the throw didn't count at all. It didn't go down as a foul, it simply didn't count. So what she thought was a third throw was indeed just marked as a second. But you heard a lot of the conversation there between the officials and Josie Pearson and her coach, and nobody's happy right now. But they will be.
But here are people who are very happy to receive a medal. Women's javelin, F34. Event which was completed this morning, and it's gold for Germany. Was one of the early events in the morning. Marika Heikkinen of Finland, a silver medalist in the World Championships, having to settle for a bronze here. And Sina Kornobis of Poland with the silver medal. But the favourite came through to win gold, the world champion, Birgit Kober, the European champion as well. And Germany cementing their place in behind Russia at the top of the medal table.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Germany.
So gold for Germany. That was one of the more anticipated successes for them in the build-up to these championships.
Dilber Tangrikulu of Turkey. Her third attempt in the women's long jump T47 final, as she tries to get her way up into second place, and she's going to have to knock around personal best territory in order to do it. Rodham Keane is leading this quite strongly in 5:44.
Now show me how you fly the flag and do the placards. Bit. There you go. That's
4:66, she's in third place.
With a personal best.
Pearson in the club. She leads a fourth attempt. Last two have been judged as fouls. 941 points, 14:02 in the opening round, and that just went out to the sector, so that'll be her third foul. But she's still leading, 941, 14:02 her best. And right now it's Britain 1-2-3.
Stay behind the shoulder, Joe.
So, penultimate attempt for Josie Pearson. 1460's her PB, so she's not that far away from it. Bring her up to about 1,000 points, and that might be unassailable with Butterfield and O'Neill still to throw. She's got that inside this time. Well, that's very close to her best of the day, but it won't improve. It's 13:33. 14:02 remains her top mark, 941, and she's 36 points ahead of the rest as we return to the long jump.
And we go back to the long jump, which is developing into a battle at the top, but here is Tangrikulu of Turkey, a personal best in her last round of 14:66. 14:89 is the mark currently from Samagadi of Greece in second. She's also gone with a personal best. 14:23, the latest for Tangrikulu.
So back on the track, it's the men's 400 metres T34, and it's the second semi-final. Everybody here has won a medal either at this or the previous European Championships. Well, he may be still 15 years old, but Isaac Towers has had a very successful week. Silver in the 800 metres. Great start to his career. For France, Sébastien Mowbray, the former world champion at 100 metres, has won silver in the 200 and bronze in the 100. For the Netherlands, Bart Pijs, who won bronze in the 100 and 200 in the last European Championships at Stadskanaal. Henry Manny has won 3 gold medals for Finland so far in the 100, 200 and the 800. Stefan Rusch won both 100 and 200 in the last European Championships for the Netherlands and won bronze at the 1 and 4 the World Championships in Christchurch. Bronzes in the Paralympic Games in London and in Lyon as well. So it's the first 3 who go through and the 2 fastest losers across both semi-finals. So Rusch, Manny, Pijs, Mowbray and Towers are the 5 in this second semi-final. So away first time. Manny has had such a successful week here in Swansea at these European Championships. He's in lane 4 and looking to make ground already on Bart Pijs in lane 5. Rusch in 3, also making good ground up. Mowbray and Towers, obviously, in the outside lanes, will be well in view of the other athletes and will have to time their moves well. But Towers on the outside looks to be going well in lane 7 for Britain at the moment. Manny's moving up and having a great time of it in this semi-final. They'll straighten up in a moment and Manny's lead should become obvious, and he's going very well at the moment. Mowbray too, alongside, and Towers going brilliantly. So Manny in this semi-final looks like he's going to take it. These are the 3 well ahead of the rest. The 2 Dutch will have to wait as fast as losers. Manny takes it, Mowbray in second place, and Towers is third. 57.41 the winning time. And Manny, well, it was pretty much a formality for him in the end. That was 4 seconds outside his European record. He has his place in the final. Manny wins it, Mowbray second, Towers third, and Stefan Rusch and Bart Pijs will have to wait. Arnie had a bit of a battle there, didn't he, Towers? He wobbled a little bit to get it straight, but he managed to keep it straight. Now, did he stay in the lane? Looked as if he did, realistically. But that'll be established by the result, which becomes fully ratified in a few seconds' time. It was a season's best for Mowbray in second place, with Manny taking it and Towers third. And pretty simple for all those 3. Season's best for Bart Pijs as well in 5th and Rusch in 4th. But they'll have to wait and see if they reach the final. Manny certainly did. So Manny takes it, 57.43. Mowbray second, Towers in third, and a waiting game for Rusch and Pijs as it was for Henk Schulling in the previous semi-final. And so these are the athletes who qualify for the final, and it was indeed Stefan Rusch and Bart Pijs who qualify as fastest losers.
And we go back now to the women's club throw. Josie Pearson in the gold medal position. Her final attempt, 14.02, her first effort. Gave her 941 points to put her into the lead ahead of Gemma Prescott and Abby Honeysett. At the moment, we are set for our first clean sweep of medals by any nation here at Swansea 2014. 12.80 won't improve on her lead as we go back to the long jump.
So now we're coming towards the end of the women's long jump, and Smagadi of Greece looking to overhaul Radamankina in the gold medal position. She's made her way out. 4.89's been her best to date, and can she improve on that here? And a foul in round 3. Radamankina going out to 5.44 with her opening attempt, and a bit of pressure on Smagadi by the Turkish athlete Dilba Tanrikulu just behind. But she'll stay in second place, 4.74, close to her best of the day. But here is our leader, Radamankina.
Her fourth attempt, 5.50.
Or thereabouts. Yeah, looks a good attempt. 5.44 in the opening round. She had a foul in round 3.
And the para and world champion on the verge here of a clean sweep of major titles. There we are, 5.50, as we thought.
Good estimate.
A lead by more than half a metre.
So it's the penultimate round now. Dilba Tanrikulu of Turkey. 4.66 her best of the day, and in her career, well, was that the big peak? She'll have to improve her personal best by another 24 centimetres to overtake Smagadi. The track action, by the way, is done for today now. It's these field events and the gold, silver and bronzes that will be the main attention now for the rest of the morning. And
well, we will see the likes of Hannah Cockcroft and Mary Amelie Lefert out on the track again this afternoon. And now Smagadi of Greece in the silver medal position. Needs something very, very special here to put her into the gold medal. Already broken her personal best with 4.89. And she doesn't look to have improved on it there. Quite some way in front of the board as well. So 4.49, 4.89 is good enough for silver.
Radamankina, our leader, and on the brink of gold. 5.50, the best attempt by well over half a metre today. And she's gone a great distance out again. That'll be beyond 5. Every single one of her marked attempts, just one foul to date. Everything's gone beyond 5 metres, and every single one of her attempts to date would be enough to win a gold. And the other two have hit personal bests. They have extended themselves brilliantly today, but haven't been able to keep up with this lady, as Radamankina went out to 5.29, but the lead is still firmly hers.
So here is a final attempt for Tanrikulu to work her way into the medals. And again, she needed something close to 5 metres. Already has a personal best of 4.66. And that looked to be inside that. Gave it everything right at the end. .434. She will finish with a personal best, but no medal.
So here is Smagadi of Greece. Well, looking to extend her personal best, get beyond 5 metres for the first time in her life if she can. But it will be silver for her, that's confirmed now. And that jump should confirm the gold for Radamankina as well. She's given it a good effort. 4.89 was her first attempt, the longest of her life. And Dilba Tanrikulu behind her did the same, 4.66. Never been out that far before. added 7 centimetres to her personal best, and Smaragde 10. Silver for her and gold for Nicole Rodemakina of Russia.
And here is the lap of honour down the runway for the Russian, the Paralympic, world and now European champion, finishing off, looking to go out towards 550 again. And she has got the double of 100 metres and the long jump here at Swansea 2014. It's gold for Russia again. 5:41, 5:50, more than good enough to win the gold. Crowd enjoying themselves here in Swansea, inside the stadium, and those outside enjoyed the long jump. 2 personal bests for Smaragde and Tanrakulu, but Rodemakina in a class of her own. The final event about to start this morning is the women's shot put in the F35/36 category. And Maria Pomazan of Ukraine is also in a class of her own when it comes to this event. The reigning Paralympic and world champion.
She's won the last 2 world titles, not just in this, but the discus as well.
World record holder, which was set at the European Championships last year. So this may be a battle for silver, and it's Ida Bronskaya, who has already thrown 8.28.
Ida Bronskaya, who was involved in the Paralympic Winter Games torch run on the way to Sochi. 8:35, a lifetime best set this year. And an improvement on that may be needed for a chance of getting a medal. There's 3 in this final, which means it's gold and silver only. You get nothing for finishing last.
Personal best of 8.35 this season. And Pomazan, 8.28 again. Pomazan is well capable of throwing in excess of 10 metres. And here is Alamalchik of Ukraine. 9.57, her personal best. And that is inside 10 metres. This is also a points event. We have F35 and F36 classifications involved here. And the earlier throw for Bronskaya was worth 628 points. She is still waiting for her second round. 8.44 in the first round, good enough for 857 points.
Yeah, Malchik was the shot put champion at Beijing 2008, won the bronze in the discus there, and in the shot put at Athens 2004.
8.19.
Pomazan doing very well at the moment. It is currently gold and silver for that nation. Pomazan, so much gold in her collection. 5 in the last 3 major championships, the 2 Worlds and the Paralympic Games at London 2012, and she has won the shot at all 3 of those. 10.70 in the opening round, has her in the lead at 945 points, which is around 300 clear of Malchik and Bronskaya.
So this taking place at one end of the arena, and we have the women's club throw at the other. And Pomazan here you would think it's a case of how much she wins by, even at this stage.
She is the world and European record holder in winning the title last year in Lyon, the World Championship. It went out at 12:35, and she's throwing quite conservatively so far this morning. Well, 10.70 has been her best to date, and that's 11 meters 50. She increases her lead to around 350 points.
So she is well on course for the gold medal. And we can now celebrate more success, which has already taken place today. The men's long jump in the T36 category. Roman Pavlik, one of the most decorated athletes here, one of the most decorated athletes in parasports as a whole, on top of the podium again. Poles either side of him. It was pretty tight in the end. 13 centimeters between the three. Marcin Elsadek, season's best, 5:15 for him. And it was a high quality competition. He got 5:15, and the world record set by Pavlik is 5:44. So the medalists were quite some way clear of the field. Mariusz Zobzak, 5 meters 20 centimeters for him, which earned him the silver. For Roman Pavlik, immense both on the track and in the field. World, Paralympic, and now European champion. And Ukraine having a great championships. So Roman Pavlik has another gold medal. And here is Alla Malchik of Ukraine in the shot final for F35/36. 881. Down in third place at the moment. And now Bronskaya. Personal best of 8:39 in the previous round. And that's not too far away from 10 meters again. Maria Pomazan well ahead at the moment. The athlete who has dominated this event in recent years. But Bronskaya looking to cement her place in the silver medal position. 9:04, a personal best again for her.
Moves up into second place above Malchik, so the Ukrainians are being divided at the moment. Maria Pomazan in the lead for Ukraine. Bronskaya with an excellent personal best. And we are down to points, remember, so she's 38 points ahead of Malchik now in third, but still 200 plus behind our leader Pomazan.
Back to the podium again for the men's 1500 meters. And this was very impressive tactical running from our Russian winner. Rachev, Kristalev, Pavel Sarkiev taking the bronze, a personal best, 4:02.71. And the Portuguese have often dominated this in the past, the Brazilians at world and Paralympic level. And Cristiano Pereira takes a silver medal, 4 minutes, 0.65 seconds.
2014 IPC European champion with a time of 4 minutes, 00.80 seconds, representing the Russian Federation, Vyacheslav Krustalev.
But Vyacheslav Krustalev, 4 minutes, 0.08 seconds. And he was the class of the field, and it showed the longer it went on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the Russian Federation.
So great success again for Russia. And we go back to the women's shot.
2 field events going on. Out in the centre of the stadium area at the moment, Maria Pomazan leading at the moment with 1,045 points.
11:50 in round 3. And that looks to be out around that range again. 11:93 increases her lead.
So this and the women's club throw still going on at the moment. And here is Alla Malchik in the silver medal position. 797 points. Gets the white flag there. 8.65, 9.29 her best throw so far. And we go back live to Maria Parmesan.
Well, we've just seen Malchak throwing there. She went out to 9.03. 9.29, her best so far in second place. That's 797 points, which is around 40 clear of Brunskaya, of Russia in third place. So Malchik has gained back second spot for Ukraine, who have the lead and surely the gold with Maria Parmesan. This is her penultimate throw. 11.93 her best so far, which we saw a couple of minutes ago. And this is just a couple of victory laps for her now. Well in control of this women's shot put final and on the way to another major title.
The battle is for silver with only 18, or rather 37 points separating the other two athletes, Malchik and Bronskaya.
Just for a replay on the big screen then, all the
11 meters again, it's 11.60, and she remains far and away the leader, and the gold is just about hers, but to be decided who wins the silver.
And here is Bronskaya out of the medals at the moment, despite a personal best today of 9.04, worth 789 points. She needs to better 9.29. Oh, and she's over 8 meters, but not too much further than that. She and Malchik are in the same classification. So basically it's down to distance for those two, and she needs to better 9.30. And that's just over 8 meters.
Well, 8.35 was her personal best going into today. She's beaten that 3 times.
8.45 this time. She's done that again, but 9.04 will ensure she finishes outside the medals. And Malchik will take the silver.
I think that's pretty much determined now, because it would need a monstrous throw from her in order to claim the gold. So it will be silver for her, for the Beijing 2008 Paralympic Games champion. And Malchik, well, it's a superb day for Ukraine. Again, gold and silver for both of them. And it will be Malchik to take the silver today. She fought off Bronskaya for second place. Bronskaya improved her personal best by 70 centimeters, which is a fantastic amount, really, a degree of something like 10% on top of what she'd had before. So bronze for Bronskaya. It is silver here for Malchik, who's waiting on her final result. And alongside of the gold medalist, confirmed now, Maria Parmesan.
8.77. So the gold medalist, Parmesan, will take the final throw to conclude the events in the field at this end of the stadium. And the women's club throw, F32 51, where we could have a clean sweep of home medals, is concluding. We'll bring you that shortly as well. But here is Maria Parmesan, just looking to round things off. And look at that. When you compare that to the other two competitors, it just shows how much she is in a class of her own here.
It's another major title for her, having done the double in the shot put and the discus in the last 2 World Championships. She's the reigning Paralympic Games shot put champion, and she's the European champion here too. I wonder if that was her best of the day. 11.93 she got in round 4. She'll be very close to it, surely.
Not too far short of it, though. 11.93 won her the gold medal. 11.89 this time. and she has won it by a street.
Maria Paralympic, the European champion, 11 meters 9.3.
So Maria Parmesan, 11.93, worth over 1,000 points, and her fellow Ukrainian, Alla Malchik, taking the silver. The personal best for Bronskaya, not enough for a medal.
So one final field event to clear up. Here is Catherine O'Neill of Ireland, the only athlete who could deny a British clean sweep here. She's already had a foul in the opening round. O'Neill from New Ross in County Wexford in the southeast. And that is beyond 10 metres, and it's a good throw. Silver at the last European Championships and at the World Championships in 2011 in Christchurch. 11.13. Needs to push up by maybe another 50 centimetres or so. Discus World Champion 2011. Discus silver 2012 in London. That's a good effort, well beyond 10 metres, an improvement certainly. She's lying 6th right now. It's around 100 points behind Christina Kalaman of Hungary and behind Abby Hunset of Britain. Something like 12.5 metres might get her into the medals. Well supported from her Irish team today. O'Neill goes up to 11.76. That's 732 points in 6th place. Needs another 170 points to get into the medals, which would realistically mean probably around 13 metres. 13.87 her lifetime best, 12.11 a season's best. Needs to improve on that alone, probably by 70 or 80 centimetres. Sun's come out again, which is welcome. They've had a nice rendition of one of Tom Jones' best.
Well, we are in South Wales.
4th competition throw.
O'Neill then 11.76 in the previous round. A bit more needed. That is beyond 10 metres again, and probably beyond 11, but it has to go past 12. 20 metres is the second line you can see, which we've already seen tested by Gemma Prescott. She's an F32. O'Neill is an F51. 11.36, good consistency. Needs that little bit extra. Needs a season's best, really. Personal best would be great, but probably not required to get her into the medals.
Competition throw.
Penultimate throw for Catherine O'Neill.
Joanna Butterfield of Great Britain still to go in this event. But O'Neill, the only person who can deny Great Britain a 1-2-3.
It's already 4 medals this week for Ireland. 3 gold, 2 for Jason Smith, 1 for Michael McKillop, and a silver in the discus for Orla Barry. And Catherine O'Neill has had good discus success in the past and in the club too. This is one of the events not on the IAAF circuit. Well, Catherine O'Neill has missed out. No medal for Ireland in this today. It means Britain will get a clean sweep. It's now just determining who the names will be on the podium. First clean sweep of the week.
And Joanna Butterfield is the final athlete to go. Josie Pearson leading at the moment. Gemma Prescott in second. Abby Hunset
No.
is in the bronze medal position. O'Neill may actually have one final attempt.
Well, we've seen this a couple of times in the competition, that additional throws have been yielded. We saw that a little earlier, didn't we, with Pearson?
Reset the clock to 1. Okay. Offer her the implement.
You can hear a little bit of discussion. She'll be given another throw.
Last one. Yes.
So, the medal's not determined yet for Britain. So O'Neill can get into the medals here. This is now her final attempt.
And she needs a massive, massive throw here.
Catherine O'Neill for Ireland. It's just beyond 10 metres. 11.76 her best so far. Needs to get beyond 12 to have a chance of a medal.
The European record holder.
So that is confirmed now. Catherine O'Neill, it was another 11.09. It finished around the same position as the previous effort. So everything we said before applies. Britain get the clean sweep. 1, 2, 3. But still to be determined who will be in the medals.
Joanna Butterfield is the final competitor to go. She is an F51, and just look at that. Way out over 15 metres. The European record is 15.83. Set by Catherine O'Neill. And there's a smile on the face of Joanna Butterfield, because that could be a gold medal throw with her first attempt. 17.68. Joanna Butterfield has won the gold medal with a new European record with her first attempt, and it will be a 1, 2, 3, 4 for Great Britain. Butterfield, Pearson, Prescott and Honeysett. She still has 5 more throws, but these will be celebratory throws because she has done it already.
The second competition throw.
It's the first clean sweep of the week at Swansea 2014. And not just that, they've got the first 4 in the field. And that's confirmed now. Nobody's throwing after Butterfield. She surpassed everybody else, over 1,000 points. Nobody's managed that. Butterfield has won it already.
And she will complete her throws, but unless she can break the record again, they are pretty irrelevant from the point of view of the podium, but that's another good one. And that may be another throw which would have surpassed the previous European record. The world record is 21.90, set by Rachel Morrison of the USA last month in a meeting in the Czech Republic.
Well, she can keep throwing if she wishes, or she can pass up now. Now, she'll have been told the distance, but not the points.
But she'll know. I mean, the other 2 medalists, Pearson and Prescott. Pearson is an F51. Prescott is an F32. So she's thrown out over 20 metres, but of course, her classification means it was only good enough for a bronze medal in the end.
Well, still putting the efforts in. And she'll go all the way to the end now.
The 35-year-old can start preparing her victory speech. And this will be a medal ceremony for the locals to enjoy later on today. For the first time, we will see 3 flags from the same nation unfurled, and it won't be Russia, it is Great Britain. I suppose a target would be to throw all 6 beyond the previous European record. It would take some to pressurise the world record over 20 metres. No Europeans ever done that. But at the end of the morning session, we have our first clean sweep of medals.
Well, she was involved in the Queen's baton relay, was Joanna Butterfield.
Spikes in.
For the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow.
So 16:53, all 4 throws way in excess of the previous European record. And there is plenty coming up later on today. The men's 200 metres and the T54 this afternoon. Kenny Van Veegel going for gold again. Dan Greaves of Great Britain, the Commonwealth Games gold medalist, going in the F44 men's discus. Hannah Cockcroft going in the T34 800 metres. And in the women's long jump in the T44 category, Marie-Amélie Lefebvre, who we've already seen win the 400 metres gold this morning, up against the world record holder Steph Reed. And Mandy Francois Elie will also be on the track again in the women's 400 metres in the T37 category. And we'll see the Russians Andrei Vdovin and Sherman Kobasov. 16:39, what a sequence from Joanna Butterfield, with one more to come. And Kobasov and Vdovin will be going in the men's 400 metres in the T37 category. And the second session starts at 3:30 UK time, 4:30 in Europe. And there will be so much to enjoy.
Well, Joanna Butterfield, who's the British champion, and she is the Scotland wheelchair rugby vice-captain. That is a mixed team. And she is a gold medalist. There you go, pressure's off, competition's over. She knows she's won. And she is the European champion as part of a British clean sweep of the medals and the first 4 places too.
So a new European record for Joanna Butterfield. 17:68, her first throw. Good enough to win the women's club throw. And there is plenty of red, white and blue at the top of that medal table in this particular event. Butterfield the gold, Pearson the silver, Prescott the bronze, with Abby Hunnisett finishing in 4th place.
Not very well.
Well, she doesn't have the Scottish saltire to unfurl, but it's the Union flag.
I can put it. Should put it. The arms around it. That's it. Put it.
And a great triumph for her.
Thank you.
Another excellent British success, another gold medal to add to the tally, and it's double figures in golds for Britain now. Russia with more golds and medals than anyone else. Germany, Ukraine, Britain, Finland having a great week. Switzerland as well, beat Bosch, winning one today to go to the 3 of Manuela Schär. And France, Marie-Amélie Lefebvre with a world record too. Great victory in the shot also for Spain today through Max Lopez. Poland having a great week. Ireland with a chance of a 5th medal, just missed out. Catherine O'Neill in the club throw there.
And we have 37 nations here. And so many of them have been on the podium. 32 of them so far in some way, shape or form. It's been another great morning here in the sunshine in Swansea. We'll be back at 3:30 local time. But for now, it's goodbye.